Did Deion Sanders write the draft profile? Did a CU auntie write the draft profile of Shedeur Sanders? Did he give them the Johnny Unitas golden arm win? Like, in my head, I'm like, I get you thinking that Shedeur is not a first round pick. Hey, that not the hottest take. Some people had a first, second round grade on him.
Yep.
But to then come back and say, well, he just can't read defenses. He can't do that. He can't do, like, wait. What? Like, you telling me all these prospects, he was dapping up Brian Daboll. People, he had private workouts, private sessions, everything. But all of a sudden now he's actually worse than a 5th round pick. Dylan Gabriel's throwing meatball sandwiches. We can't even get him no playing time. Like, what's going on?
Listen, speaking of, they didn't gave up them. We got to get you on this. They didn't gave up them playing. They didn't gave up that play calling.
How about that? Because if you stop calling the plays, maybe I'll be okay with Shedeur starting. But I want y'all to know Shedeur's ready right now. Quote Jimmy Horn Jr. You know what I'm saying? He ready yesterday.
And you know what, FB teams? I'm gonna tell you what. This is crazy. The fact that. See, when you start to manifest things, right? When you put it out there into the universe, I believe in manifestation. And when a lot of people is on one accord, it's funny how things be happening. I take it for granted that sometimes when your heart and you God and you prayed up and you're in the right place. But sometimes you can undersell yourself. And I was saying the same thing. A lot of people, let me know if you in the chat, you said the same thing. I said, look, now Shedeur gonna have to play at some point. But under no circumstances do I want him directly replaying up under Kevin Stefanski. Under things too, I'm telling you, I don't want him nowhere near it. I don't want no problems because I see the way the setup be happening.
Yeah.
Like the fact of, so now when the no reps came out, no reps with the second team, then they talk about Bailey Zappi about to be the backup. Said, oh, I see what you, then the general manager had to come out and say, well, we going to try to save you, Kevin, by trading Joe Flacco so you don't lose your job. They traded Joe Flacco and he still almost got in his feelings. It was like, well, I'll put Zappi up here. And I'm like, he's going to give him every opportunity to get his runway. And I saw the way it was looking. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, how is this going to play out? Yeah, he going to get his opportunity, but we got to see him in his nasty little playbook. This is nasty work. I don't want y'all to see this. That's
my big thing. And kind of going back to the whole thing about, like, keeping it football, right? Like, when we try to judge these people, and I know, like you said, you watch my videos. I don't know how many audience members do, but, like, I was never anti-Dylan Gabriel. I was like, okay, well, if he's going to be the guy, like, actually, I thought it was a bigger indication of how bad the offense and how his offense is when your hand-picked guy that, y'all reached for, again, he was a 4th to 5th round graded guy. Y'all reached to get 3rd round. You want your guy at quarterback, go get your guy. That's the old adage of quarterback. Nothing wrong with that, right? But if he's the guy and it's not looking good, like, and it's not that we hate Shedeur or this and stuff, they're not even going to implement. That is the hand-picked guy. You have the most, hey, you've been talking to Dylan, that is your dude, and you can't have an offense that does anything. You have Harold Fan. Like, the thing about this is, like, you're not going to get me on some non-football stuff because I watched college football. This rookie class is elite. You got Quinshon Judkins, who broke freshman rushing records, won the national championship, embarrassed my Texas Longhorns. Harold Fannin, one of the most legendary tight end seasons of all time, led FBS and all receiving yards.
Went to my high school. My high school. I did play-by-play of Harold Fannin Jr. his senior year at Canton McKinley, and he was a safety back then. And then I pull up, and he embarrassed Penn State, and he went down to College Station and did his thing. And I'm like, he's running away from people a little bit. So they got ball players.
Yes.
And when you watch the Cleveland Browns, and we do all 22 tape review over here, when you see that there's plays open or there's things open or you're like, what are they thinking right there? My question is, and like you said, if they giving the cream of the crop to Dylan and that's their man, what you think they giving to Shedeur?
Hey, man, we can get them scraps. We're going to get them
scraps. Listen, I was like, this is not going to. So to me, when I woke up and we was doing the show, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, we pulled up and he said, yo, it's 10 minutes left in the show. We're going to figure out what's going on. What are we going to do? Because now Kevin Stefanski gave up play calling. And I said, oh, Lord.
It's time.
I said, you done. I said, look at the way the Lord be moving. I said, okay. So now you got Kevin Stefanski that had to move on up out of here. Let me move you down the block.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got Tommy Rees. He's been a coordinator at Notre Dame. He's been a coordinator at Alabama under Nick Saban. He's played in high pressure games. He's called some nice games. Go back and watch some of his stuff. And I'm sitting here, he's proven himself.
Yeah.
He's trying to prove himself in this role because he was brought in and he was going to have an opportunity to be a college coach. I think he's going to get offered some college jobs this year if he does his thing. And so my thing is, he going to put you in the best position because he auditioning. Yep. And the only thing I want to know is if it's his offense or is he still out here being a puppet for Stefanski? That's the only thing that we got to figure out.
That's important because, you know, when it gets to these things, and of course, you know, I'm doing my research and, you know, because I already made, you know, the whole Kevin Stefanski video, finding out this is the second year in a row of him doing that. I mean, I'm sure I knew that, but, you know, going through research, okay, so the second time you've given up play calling, you don't win games and have to say, hey, admit that my offense is bad, right? And give the keys to somebody else. What I don't want to happen is for Tommy Rees to become a scapegoat, right? In the same way the last offensive coordinator became, right? And I saw, and like I said, I'm locked in. So I try to, whenever I follow these people, it's important to see, you know, the ecosystem around the city. So I see some Cleveland Browns fan club type guys or people who just tweet about it, talking about like, hey, this might mean Kevin Stefanski is safer than we thought, right? And like just that thought process is like, no, like the setup isn't just for Shador, it's also for Tommy. Like we gotta be looking out for him because, you know, at the end of the day, I made this analogy and I think somebody in my comments said, you know, it was the story from the Bible. And hey, I'm not the most, I don't read it as well, but I believe it was Moses asking the Pharaoh, let my people go. God hardened his heart. And, you know, I've looked at it as an analogy of the pride of men, right? So Kevin Stefanski, through all of this, I feel like is just trying to prove points, right? Hey, I'm putting Dylan Gabriel out there no matter what. I'm not letting Shador in because this is my guy. I need to prove this. Hey, when Tommy Rees's offense looks bad and terrible, hey, don't come looking at me. I told y'all my offense, I was making the best of what it was, XYZ. I already see the way that can kind of come off. So I don't think that coach of the year is running thin and saving his job. And he's going to try to weasel out of it again.
So listen, hey man, that's a nice analogy. Listen, I might have wanted to save that for Saturday. That's crazy. The harden your heart, the Pharaoh crazy work you just said right there. It hits different because it's almost like I'm looking at it from a perspective of, you know, sometimes got to move people out your way. And sometimes, you know, he'll do certain things and you'll look like it's a promotion, but it'd be really a demotion. So like it looked like, oh, well, let me just show you. Because by the way, Kevin Stefanski has a track record of doing this. He did this to Ken Dorsey last year. Now, mind you, he gave up the play calling about halfway through the season when Deshaun Watson got hurt. He gave the playbook to Ken Dorsey. Under Ken Dorsey, they threw for the most yards.
That was doing their thing.
And then they came back and said, Ken, it's not working out. We're going to fire you. The year prior, I always explain to people, I said, now, the year Kevin Stefanski in 2023, the Browns went 11-5. They got Joe Flacco off the couch. He won comeback player of the year. You know, Jim Schwartz won defensive, I think it's the assistant of the year award. Yep. Myles Garrett won defensive player of the year. And Kevin Stefanski won the coach of the year. They had 5 or 6 quarterbacks start. So my question was, how is it that your offensive coordinator and your quarterback coach, Alex Van Pelt, how is he fired? But everybody else got league awards. And if you're going to say credit for the 5 or 6 quarterbacks, Kevin, how is it that he's the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator, but he gets fired when you got coach of the year? How's that possible?
Yeah, and you know, this is something that I've brought because, like, again, I like to tread lightly because, you know, I'm a Texans fan at the end of the day, right? I understand that I'm speaking on another team's franchise, right? So when I do that, I want to do it with the right level of care. When I look at Kevin Stefanski's history and what he's produced and all this, I don't know how Browns fans aren't more like, this dude is a weasel and B needs he got to go. Like I don't see how you don't see how he's avoiding these things, winning coach of the years, on doing this stuff. He came from this KOC era, this Minnesota Vikings, right? That was the last coordinator job before coming to the Browns, right? You talk about KOC, who's looked at as a quarterback guru, right? Why is it that Kevin Stefanski, whose last biggest job before being a head coach, being an offensive coordinator, being around someone who is a quarterback whisperer, and there's been no, correct me if I'm wrong, no success with the quarterback position since Kevin Stefanski has been there,
Zero.
right? There's been up, down, left, right. It's been volatile. I'll give him that. But at what point do we put that on the head coach? Like we got to put our big boy pants on, right? How, if we've never had good quarterback play from someone who's coming from a quarterback friendly system, whose system is supposed to put quarterbacks in great positions, but you haven't done it. We're falling off the fact that Joe Flacco had to come gunsling your way back into the opportunity. Like it doesn't add up to me. Like it never did. And I don't understand what this leash is and how long it is.
Well, listen, listen, you are welcome on into my stratosphere, my good man, because when you get to the state of Ohio, things are a little different here. Like, listen, at least I can tell you, at least back in Texas, that you guys are straight shooters in the South, right? Right? You wouldn't, if somebody don't like you, they don't like you. Like, you just know. Yeah. You just kind of know. Like they'll tell you, listen, I appreciate it, but I don't want nothing from you. Shout out to Les BBQ, by the way, man. Listen, our man Les BBQ, I'm gonna tell you, I ordered me some oxtails from Les the other day.
Them softballs.
Nothing but them softballs. Red. We painting it red. Nothing but softballs. Shout out to Les BBQ. But no, here I think so what you got to understand is you guys, our organization, we've been battered, beaten, bruised. Yes. We ain't won a conference championship, a division championship since '89. We ain't won nothing since the '60s. When Jim Brown and Paul Brown was in town. They took the team in '95. We were so bad. They took the team in '95. They turned into the Baltimore Ravens, put them in our division, and in 6 years they was in the Super Bowl and won it. Cleveland fans deal with that. It's an inferiority complex. And so if you get one nice little thing, you get one little piece of award, people be acting like their little Coach of the Year award is some sort of reward for everyone. That is not an award for anybody. And what we do, we project and we'll say this. Well, if we get rid of Kevin Stefanski, who are we going to get?
I don't get that.
Because you guys smoked us in the playoffs. By the way, shout out to CJ Stroud. You guys put the boots to us. And here's the thing that should have got him fired to start with. When they sat down and D'Amico Ryans was like, hey, listen, stand right here. I promise you, stand right here. They've been running that same little nasty play for 45 years. I was here when Kubiak was running. Stand right here, and I promise you, you're going to pick the ball off and go to the end zone. When they said that on camera, I said, oh, no, you got to go. I don't care if we went to the playoffs. Sure as the day is bright, they threw it right to him. He baited him, pick six. But you see, though, it's difference between, and then I'm like, they just told you D'Amico Ryan should have got that Coach of the Year because he actually got robbed. He actually got robbed.
And, I want to speak as a Texans fan who, saying like, I'm older than the team, right? We've had nothing but either mediocrity some years, right, of some good stuff, right? So for me, I remember being under Bill O'Brien, the regime, the awful, dreadful regime of Bill O'Brien. Like when he started trading away everybody, get DeAndre Hopkins out of here. I don't like his mom. I don't like his blind mom that he's talking to him all the time. Like he was going crazy. So
that was first and foremost. That's people begin. I have a problem. I'm a little older. Listen. I don't like that disrespect. Like first and foremost, you can't even really mention nobody's mama. Then he tried to act like started talking about he got too many kids. I said, you're out of pot. Never mind. Keep going. I didn't like none of that.
So like that was crossing the line of different things. So I say all this. I'm not saying Kevin Stefanski is this terrible, awful person. What I'm saying is knowing what it's like to feel like you're in a dead end, coaching wise, regime wise, right? It really is tough. I just want for the Browns, and I know y'all have been through 1,000 coaches. I know it's been 1,000 quarterbacks, but I think Kevin Stefanski has shown his limit. He's shown where his ceiling is, right? He can get a Coach of the Year. He can get a sympathy playoff win. But I don't think that's what Browns fans want or deserve, right? I think they want to be competing in what should be a very competitive division, right? But that might have to be a new regime change. That might have to be, how do you see all these crazy, Liam Cohen's and DMC, I forgot how you say his name, Dan Campbell out there. You see all these young guys that are instituting like a real culture about them. And not that Kevin Stefanski can't, but would you not want to see at this point with just mid and a few lost seasons, what does it look like if we fully break this down and get like a real deal new whole thing? And D'Amico Ryans, again, that's been a breath of fresh air for the Texans. It's like this whole new light for us to like, oh, we got a real player guy. He's relating to them in a different way. And I would love to live in an era where, oh my God, the Browns are good now. Like that'd be great.
It'd be awesome. And it's the crazy thing. We don't want to, we bring it back to this, and we told you, see, I'm kind with my time. I told my young man I'm punctual. We're going to get him out of here in an hour. So we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to do some super chats, and we're going to figure this out. But I will say the most disappointing thing about the Cleveland Browns is they don't know that if they would just put a little time, energy, and effort into Shedeur Sanders, he might pay some of the most dividends. Did you see him on the sideline just asking? He just wants somebody. They won't even say his name, really. Like he asking Andrew Berry, like, I did good? You proud? Like he just wants somebody to say, hey, we appreciate your skill set too, and we got a plan for you, and we want to see you ball. Because I'm gonna tell you something. On off the field, in terms of a person, he has what it takes to change the organization. It's yet to be. He has to go out and we all say it. Now, the cool thing I say about you is it's football based. He has to go and do it on the football field. But if they would give him half the opportunity to be able to prove that, I think that he could turn around an organization and have a lot of people believing back in the Cleveland Browns and what the resurgence could be.
I'm not sure if this is old school or new school, but I am big on, look, hey, the best quarterbacks in the game, a lot what they have in common is they've been given time, right? You think about Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. Again, now the jury's out on him, but he still did it.
Right.
Like the model for success is give the quarterback position, which is the most difficult position, time, resource, things like that, right? And I bring this up too because I love that you say, hey, what if you just invested in Shedeur? What if you made him feel in the same way that Shedeur seems to be opening Cleveland and trying to be a part and giving back to the community and trying to be at these high schools? Why? And hey, maybe we're wrong and he feels at home when he's there, and maybe we don't know. And I really hope we're wrong, but it doesn't seem that way. It doesn't seem like this is a place where it seems like he's fighting through things as the Cleveland Browns. And I see somebody, and I don't want to bring up the Giants, right? And I was wrong about Jackson Dart. I thought he was a regular Ole Miss quarterback. I thought he was going to be another Matt Corral. He's a star now. But the things that I say is when you watch that game, when you watch Jackson Dart get in there, you can see that they are putting in things from Ole Miss. There are, hey, let's let you run the ball a little bit. Hey, let's let you get comfortable a little bit. Hey, like every since Jackson Dart has stepped into the Giants organization, it feels like, hey, Brian Daboll is there for him. He's answering the questions. Hey, let's figure it out. He is the prince that is promised, right? I don't know how much Game of Thrones you watch, but he's the prince that. Oh, okay, there we go. Prince that is promised. Whether he's good or not, what the Giants are doing, or is at least setting him up for success, and that cannot be the same for Shedeur Sanders.
Hey, man, look, by the way, man, I don't know how I feel about House of Dragons. The last season, I'm confused. I mean, it's okay. Well, listen, here's what I always give this analogy. Everybody want to be the king, right? Long live the king, the king's dead. The king die, all of a sudden, the Baratheons, I'm the king. Targaryen, and I'm the king. Now, I don't be understand, but what y'all got to understand here in Cleveland is these White Walkers is coming. You need for the Cleveland Browns to get where they want to go, they better band all the 7 kingdoms. And whether it's Quinshon Judkins, it's Harold Fannin, you need all of those guys. And including that, you need a quarterback. So why don't we just embrace them, wrap our arms around them, and see what we can do? Tell everybody where to find you, where to subscribe, and where to do to get into the building. And definitely, if you a member, please go over there and support this man. He gives dynamic content. He does it at a high level, and he got my utmost respect.
I appreciate it so much. And like I said, I cannot say enough. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to your audience for, welcoming me with open arms. It's FB_Tings. That's TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. And, at the end of the day, I told G. Bush this behind the scenes, and I'll say it again, like just the utmost respect for what he's built as a program, or, as a program, as a young African-American, looking at to see what he's done, how he's building it, the community he's building it, the respect that he puts into it. It's really inspiring. So I just appreciate the opportunity.